Are Manchester City back? That's the question I'm asking this morning on Football Talks. Is it a one-horse race, or have Liverpool and Manchester City finally got their acts together with big wins this weekend at home? Is it so much the home form that they should be looking at, though? Why can't they win away from home? Arsenal doing exactly that this weekend and extending their league at the top of the table. The focus is, of course, on that title race and whether it is just one team in it. Can City and Liverpool mount a charge? We're going to look at my predictions from Friday and whether I got my new record. I was looking for 6 or 7 right scores. I'm not confident going off what I can remember. I also want to talk about Newcastle, and Newcastle fans, talk to me right now. What is going on? Why are Newcastle so bad? Why can you not win away from home? And if you're losing to West Ham, then there are big problems right now. Is losing Isak that bad? He's not performing for Liverpool right now. Voltemader's not doing too bad. So where is the issue? Eddie Howe, should he be under pressure? Newcastle floundering. Manchester City bounce back. Liverpool, Arsenal. Let's talk Football Talks, everybody. Welcome along. Get into the live chat. Get your thoughts in, please, everybody. Let me know if you are watching on normal YouTube or if you're watching on the new live vertical format that YouTube is running now as well. Give me your thoughts on the title race. That's where we're going to start. Manchester City, warning shots, and their one-man band. Look, I don't want to just go in on this and just, obviously, because I'm a rival fan, say that without Erling Haaland, Manchester City would be nowhere. But without Erling Haaland, Manchester City would be bottom half of the table. It is as simple as that. One injured player away from an absolute disaster class. I don't want to take anything away from Haaland. What a player. Whether you like him or not, he is an absolutely awesome striker. He's just the most reliable. It's like when he went clean through in that first half against Bournemouth yesterday, you just knew it was going in. And there are very few strikers in the world that give you that confidence that as soon as they go through, they're going to score. Haaland is one of them. Harry Kane probably another one as well. There's plenty of other strikers from the past, but this day and age right now, if you was to put a ball in front of a striker, clean through on goal, you wouldn't really look far past Erling Haaland, would you? If you was needing to bank on it, you would go Haaland, wouldn't you? But that was a big win for Manchester City. It was a good game to watch, by the way. Very end-to-end. Bournemouth give them a real goal, Manchester City, and there was a few scares. Let's not forget, earlier on in that game, Bournemouth had a goal disallowed as well. They scored from the corner. The frailties and flaws in Donnarumma's game were all there for everybody to see. Again, not great on crosses, and that brought the equaliser for Bournemouth. But City, again, well, you've got Haaland in your side. Give him the ball and he'll score you a goal. And he did it again. He's just unstoppable at the moment. 13 Premier League goals this season, and City are second in the league now. Now, it looks a little bit more respectable in terms of the position in the league, but it's the points and how far Arsenal are away from the likes of City. So it's normal service resumed near enough now in the Premier League. It's starting to take shape as if the big six are all hovering around. So down as far as Manchester United in 8th on 17 points, Chelsea in 6th on 17 points, and Tottenham 5th, 17 points. Top 3 is Arsenal, City, Liverpool. So Arsenal are 6 points ahead of Manchester City. Now, I said this the other day. Manchester City, Liverpool, if they can be within 6 points of Arsenal going into spring, then there's still a chance that they can catch Arsenal. Keeping the pressure on Arsenal now is all that City and Liverpool can do. They've got to wait for that slip. Unfortunately for both Manchester City and Liverpool, they're going to give the upper hand again to Arsenal, and the gap could grow this weekend because it is Manchester City against Liverpool. And unfortunately, someone's going to drop points and Arsenal are going to move further away from another one of these two sides. It's all about the consistency of Man City and Liverpool, because I think Arsenal are just going to carry on doing what they're doing. But Haaland, if he is playing in that Man City side, they've always got a chance. That's how good a player that guy is. There's no better striker in the Premier League right now. I would argue in the world, maybe Harry Kane is just as good, maybe even better than Haaland. Personally, that's my opinion, but get into the chat, let me know on that one. For Manchester City, they need him to fire. Is it the same for Liverpool? Do they need Mo Salah to fire? But I think City being back in second there now and the closest to Arsenal, I think could be a bit of a statement. City have moved up to the leading goal scorers in the league now simply because of Haaland and the importance of him. Again, like I said at the top of the show, if they don't have him, they don't compete. And that's the facts. 13 goals. They've scored 20 this season, Man City. And he's got nearly 3/4 of them. That's a staggering stat there alone. But look, it is going to be hard for Arsenal to keep up this consistency. And City and Liverpool are going to have to be... They're going to have to be... What? There and thereabouts. And I think the games that they play each other in... So, really, you've got to match what Arsenal do at this point and then take points off Arsenal when you play them. Now, City have already done it and Liverpool have already done it. So it proves that they can do it again. Obviously, Arsenal dropping points to City at home and dropping points away to Liverpool. Liverpool's record at the Emirates isn't great. When that game comes around, that will determine, I think, whether or not Liverpool are completely out of the title race. Manchester City have got to go and beat Arsenal at the Etihad. That's their only hope. But just stay in touch right now. That's where it's at. Let's get some comments on this. If you are a City fan, are you confident that you can catch what is happening with Arsenal and their runaway at the moment? It is a one-horse race right now. It's embarrassing, really. Cal says, City or not, I love Haaland. Loved him at Dortmund as well. I was in heaven when I thought Ollie was getting him at United. That was a long time ago. I said it before, Donnarumma is flapping. He's a flapping vampire, says Madhouse. I can't see Arsenal blowing it yet again. With Arsenal, they have made it part of their DNA. I know, it's the defence of Arsenal's that gives you the hope as an Arsenal fan, I would say, because 3 goals conceded in 10 games. That's very good. Arsenal on track here to break the all-time defensive record in a season that Jose Mourinho's Chelsea did that year. If they keep going like this, like it's clean sheet after clean sheet at the moment. And we're already looking at the Golden Glove going to David Raya before we get to halfway through the season. No one's going to be able to catch him. And Arsenal have just made it their mission to build from the back and just not concede goals. And their team have so much quality going forward. They will score goals eventually. You've got to get past that defence. That's going to be what wins the league. City's defence is crap. Liverpool's defence is crap. And I'm not scared to say it that way and be that blunt, but it is. It's horrendous. And I don't think they have got the staying power that Arsenal have got in that area. Arsenal might draw some games, I would say. That's where they will come unstuck because they're not... I mean, they are scoring goals on in the table. They are the leading goal scorers behind Manchester City, but you know what I mean by this? They don't look like they can go and smash a team at the moment. They haven't got that in them. They're playing very, very safe football and just getting the results, and it's working for them. So, no real issue. So, you've got to look at it that way and say that Arsenal's defence, I think, if they can keep that defence together, will win them the league. Has to be the way. And they've always got that chance going forward, and they'll always score goals eventually. Whether Haaland will be as good when he reaches the age of Kane is now... It's now another question, but at the moment, I would say they are as good as each other. 2 of the best. Too long to go in the season. Just last month, it was Liverpool walking it. I can't see Arsenal losing it, but don't think it will walk. I don't think they'll walk it, and we'll soon lose games. We'll still lose games. But that's the thing, will they? You just don't see it in them. Whether or not they have that bad moment in a game and it affects them, and then the confidence goes. That's what you're waiting to see. If Arsenal concede a goal, or maybe there's a draw, then you could see if that affects Arsenal's performances going forward. But yeah, past that, it's hard to look at anybody lifting the title at the moment but Arsenal. But like the comments said, Liverpool were 5 wins in a row and walking it. And it can all change in a month in the Premier League. So busy fixtures coming up. Obviously, the festive period after this next international break, which comes after next weekend. We'll see. That's when it's all going to count. But what a game to actually go into the international break with City playing Liverpool. That's a massive, massive game for the title race. And a draw is not going to do either of Manchester City or Liverpool any good. So it all bodes well for a very interesting game next weekend. And I think it's going to be all eyes on that one and what happens, because whoever loses it, I think is out. Because I think Arsenal can drop points, but not that many. And when you look at the table, like we just said there, it's 6 points from Manchester City and 7 points from... it's 7 points from Liverpool for Arsenal. If Liverpool lose and Arsenal win and it goes to 10 points, that's Liverpool out of it. You're not going to catch 10 points up. And Liverpool will drop points still again this season as well. 10 points is too much. I think even Arsenal can't blow that. But then again, that's Manchester City then still in the race. I think one of City and Liverpool drop out of the title race come next weekend. If it's a draw, I don't think they could possibly both be out of it if it's a draw. Because that will be 8 points for Man City and Arsenal needing to lose 3 games. Liverpool lost 4 in the entirety of all last season, and that won them the league. I think that's where you're at. You can lose a maximum of 4 games, I think, in a Premier League season. And for Arsenal needing to lose another 3 for City to catch them, I can't see City being fully consistent either with their team. Arsenal just have an all-around team. And if Arteta absolutely blows this one, then, yeah, there's no excuse. You can't sack him, obviously, but massive questions need to be asked. I want to move on to the other end of the league table now as well. And when you look at Newcastle, how are Newcastle not being? How is Eddie Howe not in the headlines right now? For Newcastle to be in 13th with just 3 wins this season and none away from home, losing to second bottom of the table West Ham. West Ham's first win in the last 5. West Ham's first win for Nuno Espirito Santo as the new manager. Honestly, I think is really bad. And to lose 3-1, that's embarrassing for Eddie Howe. That is absolutely embarrassing for him. And I want to know why no one's talking about this. Because if this was Manchester United, this would have been all over the news. It'd have been over every single broadcaster, radio station, podcast, the lot. Eddie Howe is getting away with it at the moment for me. That's shocking. That is absolutely shocking for Newcastle to be down there where they are in the league and not winning away from home yet this season. Look, we were saying this about Manchester United's away record last season. Everyone was going in on United, but no one's doing it for Newcastle. They finished in the Champions League places last season. They were top 5. And now look where they are. The drop-off again. Can Eddie Howe handle multiple competitions? Last time he was in the Champions League, Newcastle dropped out of Europe. He's in the Champions League again this season, and Newcastle are in 13th after 10 games. Look, last season it was great, yeah, but they didn't have European football again. Has Eddie Howe got it in him to manage a side on this budget in multiple competitions? I don't think he has got the capabilities. And I think PSR has strangled Newcastle. And even with that money from Alexander Isak and what they made, I don't think the investment has been good enough. On paper, they look like an all-right team. Alanga hasn't really hit it off for me. Gordon's gone off the boil a little bit now. In Europe, they look all right. But in the league, domestically, and thankfully they've got a European game this week. So they can look at that as maybe giving them a bit of a boost. But you can see it in the form. Lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1. I guarantee, and you know what I mean by this, the 3 defeats there in the last 5 have all come away from home for Newcastle. And that is just not good enough. And I don't know if losing Isak for Newcastle has completely ended any hope for them moving anywhere forward. I think it's sent them backwards. And Voltemeda, as good as he's been, that clinicalness and guarantee that you've got with Isak. And we were just talking about this with Erling Haaland earlier on. Without your main man, without their main goals, Newcastle needed to get somebody else in who is going to give them 25 goals this season for them to compete. The players around them are all good, but nobody else really chips in enough with goals for Newcastle, I don't think. And we're now seeing the problems that Eddie Howe is having to deal with in rotating that squad, in getting that squad in the best shape and condition to compete on all levels. Yes, you're doing all right and holding your own in the Champions League, but it is to the detriment of the Premier League, and they are dropping like a stone right now. They need to change that away form and change it quick. Look, a win at home, and then looking at the next game, maybe a win away from home. One win away from home might just change the fortunes of Newcastle, but the longer it goes on, the harder it is to turn it around. And when you're losing 3-1 to West Ham United, there's nowhere to hide. Nick Pope yesterday, by the way. What is this guy? Wow. Talk about an absolute clanger. Anyway, with Newcastle in front and then that goal happening, completely changed the game. Paqueta's goal, I'm talking about the equaliser for Newcastle. You could say it was unlucky with the own goal for the second, but look, you're playing West Ham United, who cannot buy a win. There needs to be a little bit more consistency there. Toons are willing to give Howe time. I know loads of them. They need to somehow spend that Saudi money. And also, they say they lack quality in the final third and Pope is useless. But they can't spend that money. So Eddie Howe has to find a solution in this. Look, he's got plenty of credit in the bank, Eddie Howe. First trophy last season, has been consistent, has brought back the glory days, you could say, well, in terms of Newcastle standard anyway. I don't mean that, I'm not having a go at Newcastle there, but you know what I mean by that in terms of what they've been competing at for the last few years. Andrew says Newcastle are struggling and the pressure is about to mount. But yes, Adam, you're right. Why has it not started before? The pressure should be on Eddie Howe. Look, everybody's talking about Manchester United and what's happening with Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea and Spurs. But we're all right up there within a point of each other from being comfortably in at second place in the league. And Newcastle can't win away from home. And are right down there losing in the bottom half of the table to bleeding West Ham. So why has the conversation not gone that way? It should be. I think it's only fair that we spread some of the negative vibes. Like United had all of them before. Let's give some to some other clubs, I say. Lawrence says, desire for the ECL confuses me because there are only 4 teams that can seriously win it. Maybe City or Chelsea. Yet we've had 2 attempts at the Europa League recently and will surely win it next season. Look, in terms of the Champions League and winning it, you have to be an elite club to win it, but you have to be in it. You just don't know. But the financial reward for being in the Champions League helps you then become that team that can win the Champions League because of PSR. So you have to get into the top 4. If you're a big club, you need to get in there. You really do. Right. Let's have a look at mine and give me your thoughts and keep talking about the title race, whether you think City or Arsenal can come back into the race, and let me know on the Newcastle side of things as well. If there are any Geordies in there, let me know your thoughts on their form and what is happening as well. We also have a poll running right now in the chat, which is who will win the league? Arsenal, City, Liverpool, someone else. Who is this someone else, by the way? There's 7% of that vote saying somebody else. Who is that? 67% of you think Arsenal will win the league, though. I kind of agree with that. 19% Man City. Don't know where that is coming from, unless you were fully convinced by City yesterday. Anyway, moving forward with my predictions from Friday and what I actually said. Let's have a look. I'm going to get them up on the screen in front of me so we can go through them. And then I'll look at my predictions. By the way, my accumulator at weekend, I was one off winning it. I'm sure you all heard me talking about it. And it was Man United. I trust Man United to let me down. First game up, we had Crystal Palace against Brentford. I went with Crystal Palace 2, Brentford 1, and Jean-Philippe Mateta to score the goal. Now, that, I think... how far away was I with this one? I'm just getting the results up on my screen now. For God's sake. Bear with me a second, everybody. Okay, right. Now I've got them up on my screen properly. All right, let's go through these results. So it was 2-0. 2-0 to Brentford. And Mateta did score. I was very, very close with this one. So I went 2-1. I got it right, really, didn't I? I've seen Crystal Palace just having too much. Mateta gets his goal, of course. And I get my first prediction right. So get in there. Nailed that one. And I'll take that early win because I think it does. I'm doing all right. I did say, though, this weekend that... Let's just see. Why is this? Sorry, everyone. My screen has gone off to a different part of the season for some strange reason. Right, I'm back on it again. So, Manchester United 2-2 with Nottingham Forest. I, of course, went with a 3-1 win for Manchester United. I went with Brian Mbeumo to also score a goal in that game. So, unfortunately for me, that is a loss on that one. So, 1 win out of the 2 so far. I went with Burnley 0, Arsenal 0. I just fancied a bit of an upset. I got one of the nils right, didn't I? It was a low-scoring game, and Arsenal won it 2-0. So, really, what can I say? I deserve what I got for that one. I was trying to be clever, and I got battered. But yes, I did say, though, that Brighton would beat Leeds. I did say that a goal would come. I didn't say Danny Welbeck this week. I went Minter with the goal. So, yeah, I got that one wrong. And I think the win and the result was enough for me on that one. So, 2 out of the 4 so far in terms of predictions. Anyone stand out this weekend for you in any of these games, everybody? Good win for Brighton, by the way. 3-0 against Leeds. That's a good confidence booster for them. A few of the promoted sides finding it hard at the moment now, starting to really find how tough it is in the Premier League. Still doing well, and of course, Sunderland can put that to bed tonight. That is my last prediction. We've not played that game yet, so we'll see how that comes. But Sunderland, the last game tonight against Everton, see how that one goes down. Fulham beat Wolves 3-0. On my predictions on this one, I went Fulham 3, Wolves 1. And in terms of the goal scorer, I went Jimenez to score for Wolves. He didn't score for Jimenez to score, not for his old club Wolves, but for Fulham, who he's playing for now. He didn't score, and that one screwed me over again. But still, I got the result right. It's 3 out of 5 so far for me, so I'm not doing too bad. Let's just check what the comments say. Anything in particular that you thought was stand out in the results this weekend? People just checking now. Arsenal is best. Morning to people just joining us as well. Hello to everybody coming in. Right, let's carry on with this again. Brighton looked good. Gomez for Brighton. Wow, played well in that game. Cheers for that. Letting us know on that. I didn't watch that game. I've still got to watch a few of these highlights back yet. I was that busy this weekend. By the way, we had a good result for the Winton team yesterday. We drew away 1-1 with Hyde at their place, last season's champions. So improvement is coming for the women's team. Our season is turning around. So, it was a steady weekend in terms of results for me overall. Moving on to the next game anyway. I went Spurs 1, Chelsea 1. Now, I got the goal scorer right. I went João Pedro, but I got the result wrong, so I'm going to have to put that down as a loss. That was an awful game, by the way. Chelsea should have won by more. Goal scorer right, but I didn't get the result right. So I'm 50% at the moment. I've got 3 wins from my 6 predictions so far. And it doesn't get better for me either, because I went with Watkins to score for Aston Villa, and it finished 1-1. Liverpool won 2-0. Goals from Mo Salah and Gravenberch, bringing them straight back into the mix in the title race, maybe. Well, they're back in at 3rd right now, so again, get your comments in on that when the video finishes as well on the live, if you think Liverpool are realistically back in it. So, I definitely lost out on that one. Newcastle, they let me down. I went 2-0 Newcastle win. I actually said that they would get their first win of the season. Got that wrong. and West Ham blew them away 3-1. I went Bolton made us a score and Newcastle to win 2-0, but Newcastle lost badly and I lost again on that one. I also went 2-2 with Manchester City against Bournemouth. I'm not having a good weekend at all here, am I? Out of the 9 games, I've got 3 results right. I've been battered this weekend. Bad day at the office for me. Obviously, it was close in that game. I got the goal scorer right in Haaland, but that was about it. And I've got 1 result waiting tonight. Sunderland 1, Everton 2 with Jack Grealish to score. And going off my luck so far this weekend, I'm not really feeling comfortable or confident about that one. So, yeah, not not feeling it. So, 1 game to go. Not a good one for me. I'll have to take the L with that one. But look, a few surprise packages in the weekend's results. Let's just say that. Maybe the Ogard are back in it in terms of the normal protagonists. They always say, don't they, look at the league table in October, going into November, and looking at it right now, it is one of, well, let's just say all of the big 6 in there right now. Arsenal, City, Liverpool, and then it's Spurs, United, and Chelsea fighting to get into that 4th spot right now, with Bournemouth and Sunderland just holding their own right now. I'm deliberately putting in Manchester United into the mix with that there, just to try and cling on to something. But look, that was your weekend. Give me your thoughts, everybody. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for being with us this morning as well. If you come across from FUTV and you double showed it, I love the what's the right word I'm looking for there now? Oh, I've lost it. I'll forget it. You know what I mean anyway. Commitment, that was the word. My God, Adam. Shake it off. Anyway, love the commitment, everyone. Thank you so much for being part of the show. Again, I will see you all later on with any updates in and around the Premier League, as always, here on Football Talks. Past that, I'll see you all later. Have a good one, people. Enjoy your Monday.